Ladies and gentlemen, the starting order for the 1993 Daytona 500. Celebrating his first pole at Daytona, Kyle Petty, and alongside another second-generation driver, Dale Jarrett. In row 2, 21-year-old Jeff Gordon. Most kids at 13 are pinball wizards. At 13, he was a national racing champion. And this past Thursday, in the 125-mile qualifying races here at Daytona, he flew to victory, youngest ever to win. Starts third today, alongside, in his 15th 500, Dale Earnhardt. Row 3, two-time 500-mile champion Bill Elliott, and the 86 winner, Jeff Bodine. In row 4, it's Ken Schrader, who nearly won it in '89, and Ernie Irvan. Back in high school, he was a tennis star. Still plays a mean game of racquetball, and rolls over the competition, even if it's his own son. Brand new dad Bobby Hillen starts 9th, and defending Winston Cup champion Alan Kowicki alongside. For row 6, it's Davey Allison, the defending Daytona champion. 1992 had some of his greatest moments and some of his worst. Ricky Rudd will start 12th. He'll ride anything that goes fast, but he has just as much enjoyment out with a personal friend right here as performing in front of 100,000 today here at Daytona. Ricky Rudd. For row 7, it's Mississippi's Lake Speed and Sterling Marlin from Tennessee. Row 8, driving the Richard Petty colors, Rick Wilson and Phil Parsons, who had a great qualifying run. Row 9, it's Chad Little from Washington, Alabama's Hut Strickland. Row 10, Texas' Terry Labonte and Brett Bodine from New York. In row 11, it's Dick Trickle from Wisconsin and Colorado's Wally Dallenbach Jr. Row 12, Mark Martin from Arkansas and the rookie Kenny Wallace. Rookie Bobby Labonte starts inside row 13 and the '89 champion Darrell Waltrip on the outside. For row 14, it's Bobby Hamilton and Michael Waltrip. Row 15, Jimmy Horton and Jimmy Spencer. Everybody has a workout area at home. Take a look at Jimmy's. Twisted Jimmy. Jimmy Spencer. Row 16 is Rick Mass, and driving for the Wood Brothers, Morgan Shepherd. In row 17, Ted Musgrave, what an outstanding sophomore, and Rusty Wallace, the '89 Winston Cup champion. Row 18, Derek Cope. He won this race back in 1990, but he wanted a career in baseball. A knee injury put him into auto racing, and what a Cinderella story. Alongside is Joe Ruttman. For row 19, Harry Gant, the old-timers there, and Jimmy Hensley driving the Jimmy Means car. In row 20, Jim Sauter from Wisconsin, and from New Mexico, Al Unser Jr. My, what an impression he made on the wall in the 125-mile qualifier back on Thursday. And the defending Indy 500 champion will come out fighting. 41st and rounding out the field, making his 26th consecutive start in the 500, Dave Marcus from Wausau, Wisconsin. That's your field for the great American race. 500 miles, 200 laps for $2.5 million here today. 3 pace laps, of which the first has been completed. We'll be back for the start of the 500 in just a moment. Stand by. And you couldn't have a better day for a race. Hardly a cloud in the sky here at Daytona as the field is in their final preparatory lap. There you see the record. Baker, 1980, 177 miles per hour. Do you think anyone can broach that today?
Well, even though we've slowed these race cars down, don't let us lull you into sleeping and think they're not going fast. 191, 192 miles, they're going to be plenty fast.
Depend on the number of cautions as far as the average speed is concerned. Let's hope there aren't many.
Pit boards are out, and on the starter stand, the king. Yep, Richard Petty is starting this Daytona 500 from the flag stand. Took off the cowboy hat.
First time I've seen him in a long time without a cowboy hat. Be the first caution for getting the hat off the track, though.
Yeah, when those cars come by, it creates a pretty good draft past that flagman stand, and he knew that.
I promise you, Richard would much rather be sitting in one of those cars and waving that flag, but he's got a confident guy in that car right now, too.
from Jeff Bodine's onboard camera as the field rounds that 31-degree banking. From Rick Wilson in the Petty car. And from Waltrip. 2 other cameras will be in play, 2 other cars in the course of the day. And let's listen as they come down for the start of the 35th annual Daytona 500. We have a race.
I think the key to see is how racy do they want to be early.
Three wide in the backstretch. 21-year-old Jeff Gordon down to the inside, going for the lead at turn 3.
There's Bill Elliott right in behind him. Earlier in the week, they told Jeff Gordon to lay back and learn, but here he comes.
And Kyle Petty didn't want any of that 3 abreast racing. He's back there 3 abreast, but he backed off going into that turn. Who's going to lead this first lap?
Down the line, lap 1. Gordon from Pittsburgh, Indiana. The kid that blew him away on Thursday comes back and leads the first lap. All day.
Well, I knew we'd see a lot of side-by-side racing, and it takes a couple laps to get these cars up to absolute full speed. But look at Earnhardt coming up behind Jarrett now. He's going to push him on out into the lead.
You see from Bodine, who has been running in 6s, he brings that Ford up through. Out in front as they round the corner. It will be Dale Jarrett going into first place. Jarrett flying.
Look at Davey Allison coming down on the inside. He had it 3 abreast there for a moment, but he singled back now, got it in just to 2 abreast. Certainly through the tri-oval is not the place to be 3 abreast, but look back there, Darrell Walker was doing it down on the inside.
Earnhardt to second.
Boy, Dale Jarrett had been strong all week long, and the consensus through the garage this morning was the 18, the 3, and the 15, and that's the 3 cars we're seeing out front.
Caution flag is out. Yellow is down.
Debris on the track, or they have a car over in turn 2.
That could be Dick Trickle, who's blown an engine in the Raymock car. Remember the 5th place finisher a year ago? That was Dick Trickle driving for Raymock. Raymock's had some great finishes here. 2nd with Lake Speed, and 3rd with Joe Ruttman, 4th with Neil Bonham. They were hoping to do better today, have a brand new sponsor and all, but for Dick Trickle, 5th place finisher. In 1992, it ends early. Blown engine. Dick Trickle retires. We'll be back in a moment.